All right. So I'll ask you some questions first. I guess this one's gonna be a little bit different since you're an Ekko Support player, and I already know why you decided to get the coaching session. You wanted to help me just theory craft and also maybe help you get a good grasp on which playstyle might be the best one for Ekko Support. Of course, I'm not an
Yes.
expert either, but I have actually started playing a little bit of Ekko Support as well, and I think there is potential there for sure. So yeah, I guess first I would just like to know what's your like goal this season. Do you have like a goal rank you would like to reach with Echo Support?
Um, I mean, I think my aspiring goal is like diamond.
Mm-hmm.
Is usually always diamond. Realistically, I think I could get to platinum or emerald.
Mm-hmm.
So, or
Okay.
I guess yeah. I came from where there were. I came from the time where there was actually no emerald at the time. So I always
Yeah.
think of it as the same thing. So platinum, emerald, but
And you came from the time we all came from the time they just added that this split. So
true,
yeah.
true.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So yeah, I understand. I mean, I think there used to be like one Echo support one trick that I actually managed to reach master with it last season, I think. So it is definitely possible. And yeah, I mean, usually I ask like, what do you think your biggest weakness is? I think like what is more interesting might be like what you think Echo support's biggest weakness is in your games.
For sure, if I get behind, I feel like I stay behind.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, it's yeah, it's definitely one of the worst. It's when Echo support really kind of like comes to like reality where if you get behind, you're literally just useless. Just kind of
Yeah.
like running around trying to deal as much damage as you can. Uh, I've I reached platinum as like a regular support, like doing like engaged supports.
Hmm.
Um, Obviously it just kind of got a little boring, maybe stale for me, and I really wanted to do. And Echo's always kind of been my favorite champion. Uh, so doing this is just like a whole lot more rewarding. And then I'm like, I just like refuse to to like give it up. And then I seen like all these videos coming out with it, and so I feel like I am probably like a dedicated like Echo support main, like from so
Yeah.
and I really just want to hit like high elo as that,
Hmm.
you know, as like a one trick, because it's hard because I don't have anybody to like really learn from. There's nobody that's actually doing it anymore.
Yeah. Well,
Like
I'm
there's
starting to do it, so maybe you can
yeah.
learn more from me as well in the future.
I
But
know that's perfect.
yeah, I
So
think that's definitely probably the most enjoyable way to play League. I've also done this a bunch of times where I just have like these kind of, let's say, themed accounts where I just try to one trick. Like for example, I actually have two Kale support accounts as well. I don't play them anymore, but it's like I like this kind of stuff as well, right? Like this off meta stuff,
yeah.
trying to make it work. It's definitely the most enjoyable experience usually. And yeah, as I said, I think there is potential for echo support for sure. So, I mean, what are like the specific situations you would say you struggle most in? I think that's also a good question for echo support.
So coming from the support role, I feel like I was having I felt like I still am, but I'm having like an identity crisis a little bit because uh it requires a different mindset to be almost like more assassin like.
Hmm.
Um and then not only that, like thinking about like power spikes on like items is just like something that I'm not used to being like, oh yeah, this is I'm trying to get to my Lich Bane or I'm trying
Mm. And what do
um
you mean exactly by that? That you don't know how to think about it? I mean,
um I guess like coming from like a engaged support, we know when I'm playing Alistar Leona, usually it's they're linear engages
hmm.
or I guess flank engages, and so I feel like maybe I was engaging too much, being a squishy melee
Hmm.
support, and then I also yeah, I just thought I was doing too many linear engages with Echo,
Hmm.
um, and it's like it's one CC and it's like just death, and so like you
Yeah,
can I throw my lead a lot, and then also finding the balance between like roaming and gaining levels as well is
yeah.
something that I really underestimated.
I've also
Because
noticed that whenever I play. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, and because I'm a heavy roamer naturally, and when I do it with Echo, like I will severely be like under leveled or yeah, you can just really get punished if you just don't have enough levels on Echo or so.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure.
And
But you just recently started. Like I sent you the rune setup that I think is best, right? You haven't always played with it with like the Relentless Hunter and stuff,
yeah,
or have
you know,
you?
so
Yeah.
yeah, so I've played with various ones. You know, I've gone through maybe 2 seasons of just like different like rune setups. I've been trying to figure out which one. And then that's kind of what forced me to get coaching. I'm like, oh yeah, it's me. It's not the rune setup. It's like literally probably just me. So,
Mm.
um, I actually played with this rune setup, and I ended up getting a pentakill,
Yeah,
and
I
so I was
saw
like,
that. That's
uh,
crazy.
yeah, and I was just like, okay, this is definitely optimal. I liked it because of the water walking as well. So it fit my playstyle as far as like roaming between mid and bot. I
Yeah, I
notice if I
think that's
roam
good.
top, I'll lose out on a lot of experience, and so it's just not 90% of the time it's
I
not
mean,
worth.
sometimes that's okay though. I mean, it's always it's like you can't make general statements about that, of course. But like
Hmm.
sometimes it's fine to just drop a little bit of XP. Of course, it also will mean that your ADC gets more solo XP, and as long as he doesn't die or they don't die,
Yeah,
it's not like necessarily a bad thing to just be a little bit down in XP. And if you manage to get something done, then you don't really care too much about your own XP. And like one thing I've actually noticed, which like really surprised me, is just like the damage you deal with Ekko Support is just surprisingly high, even when you don't have a lot of items, even when you don't have a lot of levels. Like
yeah,
yes, of course, as you said, when you're behind, it doesn't feel great, but you can still be really annoying to a lot of like you can still burst down squishy targets and like you might not kill them 100%, but you might still get them low. And then if you have a good W and whatever, you can still have decent impact for sure. So
yeah.
yeah, I mean,
And
what are like
it is
the yeah?
extremely rewarding, like when if you're hitting those type of engages, or even if you kill
Hmm.
the whoever the carry is before an objective is like
Yeah,
I don't know, yeah, it's just extremely
it's
rewarding.
definitely
So
something that the support role usually doesn't do, right? I mean, it's somewhat similar to let's say a Zyra or whatever, but I mean, Zyra
yeah,
definitely is different, but her main role is, of course, also just a damage support or like a
yeah,
brand or whatever. But they usually the reason why people are probably more accepting of these kind of champs is just because they are ranged champs, so they have an easier time poking
yeah,
in lane and whatever. But I think Echo still like he has value, and in like a lot of lanes he can still do a lot of stuff. I guess one thing that would really interest me as well is just like I mean, you already kind of said with the roaming, but are there like other bad habits that maybe you sometimes feel lead to you losing your lane or losing the game even?
ultra. I think I'm ultra aggro.
Mm.
Even and this is kind of what like snowballs me uh into like chain losing is that I always think like, oh, this play is going to get me back in the game, and then I die, and then I'm like, oh, I need to try and go for this guy's shutdown, and then
Mm.
I die, and it's just like a snowball effect, and then also having a dark seal,
Mm-hmm.
um, it kind of feels like a it feels maybe like a bait for support,
Yeah, I'm also
at
not
least.
100% on that. And there
Yeah,
is like,
because it.
yeah, let me say one thing. Like with the Dark Seal is it is not too bad because it's a very gold efficient item, and if you manage to stack it, you actually can become like a real threat, of course. And also as a support, you usually just like you don't have the gold to complete too many items generally, I would say. So having the Dark Seal and then like maybe in good positions being able to upgrade it to Medra is definitely is good. But of course at the same time you want to maybe sometimes waste yourself a little bit more for your team. So that's like the
Yeah.
downside. I guess that's what you're also about to say probably.
Yeah. No, because I'd watched your game and you like said something that was like literally like itching at me for a while when you were just like, buying Dark Seal, sometimes you want to sack yourself for like, the
Hmm.
team or whatnot. And I was just like, yeah, that's literally like the support mindset, like right there is like is sometimes what I struggle with is like trying to find when it's worth to do that and yeah,
I
I mean, yeah,
think, yeah, I think the best way to go about it is just if you feel like you're actually winning the lane, which I mean, you have played a lot of games. I'm sure you have had made the experience that you're able to win a lot of lanes actually, right? Where you just
yes.
are able to kill people, and I think in those kind of lanes where you are able to get a lot of kills, like I think generally against Enchantress, for example, and whatever, you can get a lot of kills. Um,
Yes.
so in these lanes, I think you should just go for it. And in like in other games where you are playing against heavy CC, where you might just tank a little bit more for your team, maybe in those you just don't, right? Like you really just need to have
Yeah,
the experience,
okay.
I would say, to make the
Yeah.
decision. I don't think there is like the you should always buy it or you should never buy it. I think you really just need to uh, see how the game's going and like
Game
buy
by
it.
game, yeah.
Maybe don't buy it early every game or whatever. Like I think rushing boots is a pretty good thing, right? You're also looking to roam a lot, so
Yeah.
I think like rushing the Sorks is generally good. And then like
Yeah.
just buying the Dark Seal when the game's going well, when you have the feeling that you can get more kills, because then, as I said, it can make you a real threat, of course. And yeah. Okay, I guess I can just share my screen. We can look a little bit at the OPGG as well. Of course, since this is like Ekko Support, I can't really tell you too much about it. Like, I don't know what's wrong and what's right here, of course. Just some things I noticed, I guess.
That's for sure.
I mean, actually, in the OPGG, I really honestly didn't notice too much, other than that you got a pentakill. Because, like, as I said, this is like a Ekko Support. I think the League of Grass is a little bit interesting to look at. Of course, also, these kind of stats, they will for sure be lower. Like, it's natural, I guess. You won't win as many duels as Ekko Support as you will win with Ekko Jungle. I think this is definitely a stat that you should just be sure is high, right? Like the teamfight participation stat. This one's actually pretty low generally, I would say. Like, it could easily be like 60 something. Maybe this one's some
I feel like
that
I'm losing
you can,
a lot of them for sure. Yeah.
But this one's good. Like this one's high. As a support, you should be participating most of the team fights, especially one where you're playing with a lot of movement speed and whatever. You're allowed to really run around the map. And yeah, I guess this kind of stuff. Yeah, okay. Vision also seems to be solid. I think that's like my personal biggest weakness at the moment, setting up good vision. I just have not played enough support. And like I have literally not played support for over 1,000 games probably.
I know I was watching your support video, but man, you like you make it look so easy, and I'm like, man, this is like it's, I don't know, like you just like, it feels like you like effortlessly like carry, and I'm all like, man, there's like no vision or anything. I was like, but he just like, he kills everybody. Like I feel like anybody that you get on top of, you really do just like kill them, and I think I have a hard time finishing a lot of those plays.
You mean like mechanically?
Yeah, maybe mechanically. Honestly, I actually think mechanically for sure.
That's like one of your bigger weaknesses, you would say?
Weaknesses for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean that's definitely something I can help you with no matter what, of course, because it's still Ekko. So yeah, I mean that's definitely one thing we'll take a look at, right? Like let's say missed opportunities and this kind of stuff, just like and how you maybe play situations. Yeah. So yeah, I think just go in game. I don't think there's too much else we can really take a look at with the OPGG or whatever, anyways.
Yeah. Cool, and then I will.
Yeah, like, and I'll just show for the viewers. I will also show the setup that you're running. Wait, what's up with this? What?
And let me share my screen.
So this build is like focused on just movement speed. I'm not 100% on the water walking. I think there might be games where maybe you should actually take Scorch just for like a higher lane presence. Maybe like let's say into melee supports where you still have kill pressure. So you can just throw a lot of Qs at them, deal a little bit more damage with it.
Okay.
But I think the Relentless Hunter, like you used to run Treasure Hunter. I think Treasure Hunter is a rune you should take when you're like the carry. So as a support, I think your most impactful playstyle will be with Relentless Hunter, where you can just run around the map and do stuff. Also, I think you should take armor, right? Because unless you're playing against like no AD, but like in the lane, I think in the jungle it's easy to just take health because you can scale and it's not usually a problem. But in the jungle, you need the armor, so you just don't die as easily, I would say. Also, by the way, like if you have a duo that you want to, that like is fine with you playing Ekko Support, I feel like you should probably play with them, because I feel like a lot of ADCs don't like playing with Ekko Support.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's definitely hard, especially when I was a lot lower. It was hard to get even into games. Like people were just dodging, or they would just like.
Well, it's not gonna get better if you're in high reload. Trust me. Like people start carrying more, so yeah, I wouldn't hover Ekko before bans are over generally.
Yeah. That's what I do. I haven't been doing that. Sometimes it gets to the point where they just ban it, and I'm like,
But I mean, at this point, you are actually like a true one trick. You can't just post your OPGG. I feel like and tell people, look, I'm a one trick. I know what I'm doing and whatever. And maybe some of them might not be happy with it still, but at least they know that you're not trying to run it down or anything. So I think I would just start doing that if people are like mad or anything. But as I said, I think if you have someone like a friend or something that is an ADC main, just like hit them up, try playing with them. Don't make some random ADC suffer, because oftentimes if they just pick champs that are not good on their own, for example, then like you'll often just leave them and then they just can't do anything, right? And it's not really their fault, it's not really your fault, it's just like, I mean, it is kind of your fault because you picked Ekko Support, of course, but right, so
Oh yeah, I get it's 2 seasons I think I've gotten all of the hate for sure. But yeah, that was a good, like I did used to post like, my op.gg, but now my win rate is below 50, and so now it's just like I don't have the credentials anymore. Like people are just like, "Oh yeah, this is the fucking dodge. Like get this guy out of here."
I
So,
guess.
when it was a lot higher, I did feel more comfortable with that. But
I
yeah,
mean, it's
so
slightly below 50. It's like still, and you have like 200 games. Sure, it's not amazing. People are not gonna be super happy, but it still means you managed to win some games with it, right?
yeah. If
So
so with Kaisa,
I think it's against
it's
Aphelios Zeref here.
it is gonna be a Phelios unless
I
that's
think you have kill pressure in this lane for sure because of Zeref
okay.
generally. But I'd still take the water walking, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
just
Fine.
play like this.
All right. Awesome. And then I know Kaisa's the one I have a hard time in lane, maybe because she's mobile. Her and Lucian. It's hard to hit like maybe the Q damage.
I mean, generally just wait for them to. I mean, Kaisa mobility is just movement speed, right? It's not actually a dash, so
Yeah.
it shouldn't be that much of a problem. If you do the EQ combo well and whatever, then Kaisa at least shouldn't be able to react pre-6, not really. But yeah, of course, the big thing you need to always think about is just like, or you need to be careful about is just not getting out-traded, right? When you're trading. So
trades. There we go. I need to get better at trading for sure.
Yeah, just like making sure that you don't just lose trades and don't overforce. Like sometimes it might take you a long time. Like in certain lanes, let's say like in Ezreal Zeref lane, you will get out traded if you go for aggressive trades. So it might take you a long time to stack your support item, and then yeah, I'm also not sure. Like maybe sometimes Spell Thieves is not the way to go, but I think generally you need it for the mana region and also for the AP.
I'll run out of if I'm going Relic, I usually have mana problems in lane.
Yeah, and you're also just kind of useless with that. I feel like, honestly.
Yeah. Very true. Yeah. And then I'm trying to, I need to have a lot more patience in lane, but sometimes it just kind of like feels bad, like when your ADC is like getting poked out.
Yeah.
And so.
Do you play with your jungle a lot? Would you say? Because I think that's also a really big strength.
Yes. Especially if our lane is going haywire, so.
Yeah, just like, that's the thing, right? You can just really, as a support generally, at some point, yes, it sucks for the ADC, but honestly, most ADCs, they deserve it, so, like, just dropping them and then playing with the rest of your team that wants to win, and it's fine. So, it's like, you can still win the game by doing this kind of stuff, generally. Actually, interesting, nobody typed anything or whatever. I guess... Yeah, as I said, I think in this
you just don't hear anything, and then some games it's just the
maybe
worst.
Even walk mid here, like walk mid, maybe try to hit a Q if the Nocturne is he was walking up a little bit. Like don't hard commit to anything, just throw Qs from max range basically. I guess they're getting poked out. Can you restart or like switch over to screen share instead of application share the screen so I can see your mouse as well?
Yeah, let me see. How do I do that?
You don't even need to restart. You can just switch it over. Actually, I found that out.
How do you do
it? Wherever you started it, just you can switch between like applications and screens, and just go to screens and share like screen 1, I guess.
Screen 1. Let's see, stop streaming. Stream quality. Change windows.
Yeah, it should probably be there. Definitely make sure you leash as well, though. I feel like you're tabbed out too.
Oh yeah. I'm
probably not leashing. Yeah, it's whatever.
I won't be able to. Hold on. What do you see now? Do you see anything?
No. It's like wherever you started, it's just there's like it says applications on the top and then screens right next to it, and you just need to go to screen 1.
I'm so bad at doing it.
It's whatever. It's not the end of the world. I mean, I can't see your mouse now, but it's really not the most important stuff, I guess, for Ekko Support. Okay. Also, I think generally with Ekko Support, you really need to get that level 2 early, so I think throwing a Q in the early waves is not a bad thing, right? Just throw it early enough that your ADC can still get the last hits, of course, but...
Okay.
Yeah. And then like you'll see like the Zerav, you just throw a Q, yeah, like you get him. He's not respecting your range. Oh, you actually missed some XP. Seems like.
Yeah, I did. It was, yeah.
Yeah, this guy should hit the minion so you can go in. Yeah, now you need to go in. That's fine. Okay, I mean, generally an Ekko tip, I guess you should start playing with it just with quick cast.
Quick cast?
Yeah, just like, not now of course, but like in general, I think playing with quick cast makes your combos much better.
Yeah.
It's honestly fine, you're doing something here. I think like going for these really hard trades, you should just look after level 3, but
Yeah.
they're not even really, not even doing anything here. You actually
Yeah.
almost have kill pressure on him there. Definitely tank till. That's what I meant, right? Like with level 3, you're definitely much
Yeah.
more durable here. Could have killed the Zerath here, pretty sure. Nice.
Alright.
Okay, yeah, just recall.
Yep.
Like, you have the wave, and I'm pretty sure.
Wave in? Yes, nice. Cool, okay. Let's see if I can change this.
I think this is a game, for example, just get Dark Sealant boots. Don't get the control ward. Like,
No?
it's... Nah, not this early, it's a waste, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, and just... yeah, I mean, you could get a refillable, I guess. No, that's such a waste of skill. If anything, like, get a refillable here, then you will have a much easier time laning. But, like, this control ward, it's really not gonna... Yes, you can place it in the brush, but it's... It usually just does not have a meaningful impact, and it's 75 gold, and like 75 gold for a support that already is so starved on gold is not great, wasting that. And like, especially Ekko is a support that does care about his items more than other supports, so yeah, delaying that is just not good. Oh, okay, nice, good trade.
Yeah, you're right. The pot is probably what I should have had.
Yeah, like either nothing or the pot. Like I would probably just even go for nothing, honestly. And see, like these W's, like W is such a long cooldown. Where are you placing it? It's definitely like it just won't allow you to see. Like imagine you could have placed a W in his way now.
Yeah.
EQ. Okay, you just has flash anyways. Oh, you can kill him. Yeah, nice.
Dead.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Well.
Okay.
Yeah. No, don't buy the pot now. Like buy AP, buy AP.
AP.
Yeah, 100%. Like the pot, you would have only bought it because you didn't really have anything else to buy there.
Yeah, I see.
But like, definitely don't spend too much money on these items that will just fill up your inventory anyways. Like it's really annoying having to sell that kind of stuff too early.
Okay.
Yeah, I think honestly, just go back to your lane. The Kai'Sa seems to have based or something.
I want to freaking freeze it.
Just punish this guy. Okay. Could have still punished him, by the way, even though he... I mean, of course, you didn't really see him, but you could have just been in position to look if he is not respecting, and then you could have easily EQ'd into there.
Yeah.
And punished him. And then he's already at half HP again in this lane, and he dies again, especially because you have Ignite in 10 seconds. Like, in this elo, Ekko Support is actually, like... It's so easy to abuse bot laners. Like, and even in, like, when I play in my master accounts, you can abuse bot laners because they're just not good at the game, but... Like, in this elo, it's obviously... There's even more stuff you can abuse. And so, did you see, like, the value of the control word, by the way?
Yeah.
You literally just gave him some gold, basically. Be careful, he's level 6.
Oh boy.
You're just dead. I don't know why he's even level 6, but I think you might have gotten solo kills when you dove him.
Yeah.
It's fine. Just get another M-Tome. And like, one thing you're also completely missing in your gameplay right now is just looking at the other lanes and even seeing if you can roam there, right? Just getting the info there. That's a big thing. Big thing. Like, still, just look there now, right? Why do you need to look bot when you're going there anyways? Whenever you're in base, just look at all the lanes, see if there is an opportunity, see if there's a wave crashing somewhere or like going into somewhere. Like, you'll definitely need to get that understanding to be a good roaming support. Or like, see if someone is low anywhere. All this info is just completely missing right now. Like, at this point you kinda lost your lane a little bit, so I think you should probably just wait for level 6, unless you might actually kill him here. Also, I mean... Okay, you got him. See, this is why we do the live game, is so I can see your camera movement as well, because, for example, I feel like in this game there have been multiple situations where you haven't moved your camera in a way where you even see the enemy HP. And that's obviously, like, just lock the camera onto you. Honestly, like, Ekko is a champ where locking the camera is not a horrible thing. Okay. You can do something, you have W. Nice. Yeah, you got him. Good job. Oh. Sad.
Damn.
You might still be able to... Nah, never mind, Delphi is back. Just leave, it's fine, you got his flash.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, just get the Ruby Crystal, I guess. If you had gotten the kill, then it would have been nice to get the alternator, of course, but... I guess at this point also get the sweep, you have your item upgraded. Well, you do it on next base. Well, yeah.
Okay. You said just lock it. Do you play with a lock camera?
Yeah, well, why is it like that for you? What? Why is it not centered at all? It's kind of weird. I guess you have like the weird camera setting. There's like multiple settings for how it locks onto you, and I guess for you it's very much locked like this. But yeah, I lock it a lot. Like obviously I unlock it for placing Ws and whatever sometimes, but in fights, for example, I generally lock it onto myself so I can just keep track. Because like Ekko is a low range champ, so you really mostly just need to know what's going on around you, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, the way it locks for you, I think you have it so it locks wherever you press, right? Like when you're centered on you and you lock it, it's probably centered, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you have different binds for it.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Just do all that stuff like after the session, I guess, in practice tool. But I can definitely recommend that because, as I said, I think there have been a bunch of situations where you just even in the fights you didn't have the info that you needed, really. Okay, I'm in year 6 now. So, yeah, and like these Ws, they should never work, right? Because they saw you place it. If they're not stupid, then they will just react to it. Yeah, you can chase the Zeref down. You have wards as well. Oh. Yeah, if you would have been a little bit quicker, you would have gotten him. Yeah.
Just gonna die. There you go.
It's definitely a very interesting lane. You're fighting a lot. Yeah, and like most of the stuff, if you were just a little bit better mechanically, you would probably be like 5-0 by now. They're like it's like it's just the reality is of course fine, right? But that's just how it is. And I mean, probably Ekko Support is not the best way to learn his mechanics. Maybe just play like the arena mode or something. Yeah. That's probably the best way to nowadays practice mechanics, right? It's just fighting, and yeah, I guess you don't need to learn a whole new lane for it as well. So if you want to get better mechanically, I think playing arena is probably the way to go, and it's also, I guess, decently fun. And I'm personally actually not the biggest fan of it at the moment, but yeah. I think it still is a good thing to learn mechanics there. I mean, in this game you don't have the best lanes to roam to as well. I would say mid lane is fine. Like it's okay. The Veigar has a decent setup, so yeah, maybe go there now since your ADC is based. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, you're in a 3v2. Okay, Zarv's mid. You actually stacked your support really quickly in this game.
Lots of fighting and dying.
Yeah. And see, these are actually also a niche strength of Ekko Support, is just the ability to push waves. So, yeah, like pushing waves, holding waves is also another one with the W that he does very well. So he has some supportive qualities for sure. And another like really big thing actually is the placing the W between your ADC and the enemies when you're fighting. Like that's so powerful, honestly, because it allows you like the enemy either will keep attacking and then they will walk into your W, or they will just have to stop attacking basically, which is like really good. Okay.
Gonna be a tough one.
Yeah, for sure. I think you place your W a little bit too freely. It's a very long cooldown, really.
Yeah.
And like only place it if you're actually looking to fight and if you're in a position to fight.
Okay.
So like now it would be much better to have it up. Like honestly, I would have personally probably just even flash EQ'd on the Seraph there. And this is why you need to play with the quick cast. You still got him actually, but like with the quick cast you are able to get off the EQ there right away, you know.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Because like this, you eat there and then you had to Q and whatever, and it just takes too long because you always need to do that extra left click basically. Oh, nice. Big. Like Ekko is a champ that is like he's only at his maximum power if he's played very quickly, and you cannot play him very quickly without the quick cast. That's just the reality of it. So like don't change it now. Of course you're not used to it. As I said, another thing you could probably just practice in arena if you're dedicated to it. Have you gotten the sweeper yet? Yeah, definitely. And just get the sweeper as soon as you have your item, or if you know that you'll be able to complete it in lane. Right at 500 stacks you get the upgrade. I'm sure you know. So
yeah,
just around that time. Try to get the sweeper usually. I mean, some supports even get it in the early lane, but I am not usually a fan of that, honestly.
Yeah.
Of course, a big reason for roaming is just to collect your stacks as well, right? So yeah, just look if something's happening. Oh, okay. Be careful though. Well.
Dang.
Yeah, I mean you're not very strong here, of course. I'm sure you've had games where you were much stronger. And just take these waves. Nobody's there to take it. Like the gold is very appreciated as Ekko support. Wow.
Damn, he flashed over.
I mean, that's not even worth for him. Not really. Maybe if you had like thrown your Q right away or whatever, maybe it could have been even awkward for him a little bit. If you Q W, react really quickly, but I'm not sure. Maybe he kills you no matter what. He has a spell shield, of course. If he uses it well, then you can't really slow him.
I've definitely got to get better mechanically.
Yeah, I think that's probably the thing that will make your climb by far the easiest. Just being a little bit better mechanically is like. Yeah. Then it really doesn't matter that you're playing support, because you will be able to get fed most of your games and just take over the games. Like this game, as I said, we'll see in the replay for sure, but there were so many opportunities that you just didn't really take, or where you maybe just didn't have the mechanics to back it up. And you can definitely do something here. Right, like, again, place your W from outside of vision. No.
Jesus.
And also like here this, for example, you could have technically done a quick EQ rocket build combo on the Aphelios. Have you watched my like mechanics guide?
Yeah, I have. I I feel like I always do it for like the first 2 games, and then like for some reason I just end up resulting back to poor mechanics. So,
Okay.
but
What do you think that is though? I mean, because for example, for me, it's just at this point it's really second nature. I mean, sometimes I
yeah,
fuck it up when I'm playing bad, but I will always try it. Like,
yeah. I think it's because maybe if I start missing or if they start dodging the Q, or then maybe it stops me from using it all the way,
mm,
or using it consistently. So
feel like you're losing confidence or what? Damn.
yeah.
Rip.
Yeah, confident. Yeah, for sure. I definitely feel like is the thing. Like I just felt like I was like losing my identity of, so
Mm.
I needed to really just start from like ground zero and kind of get my foundation back under me, or
How long have you been playing Ekko?
um probably 2 seasons.
Okay. I mean, that's not
Yeah.
that long. I mean, I know you had like 500 games or something last season. That's definitely a lot.
Yeah.
But as I said, I think on Ekko Support, you probably learn the mechanics a little bit less than on other positions. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I think really just investing the time into getting better there is gonna give you by far the biggest improvement. And it's obviously something that I can't help you with that much. I will, of course,
Yeah.
tell you in this game specifically where you could have done something better mechanically, but every game will be different. You'll always have to react differently to stuff and whatever. So it's obviously also just a learning curve in general, right? For example, let's say against Zeref here, you always need to just be aware of his E, and not to get hit by that. That's like the big thing. I mean, the Kaisa is literally like level 15 or something here, so it's looking a bit rough.
Golly.
Oh, the Nocturne is also
Yeah.
11-0.
Yeah, when it's bad, it's bad. So
For sure. But again, like, you also really didn't look at any other lanes in this game, for example. Like,
yeah.
you might not have had the opportunity to roam, but you couldn't even know because you genuinely did not look anywhere a single time. So
Yeah.
definitely buy the Sorks here. I also think like usually you should probably buy them before the rocket build as a support Ekko,
Yeah.
as I said. So mechanics will for sure be the main thing I will focus on in the game review.
Okay.
This game's probably over, but who knows? Yeah, like people throw in all kinds of ways. Especially like one thing I've noticed in like the first 2 games I've played with Ekko Support is just like there were such shit fests. Honestly, people were just constantly fighting, and the enemies were really struggling to end. Because I mean, one thing Ekko does provide the wave clear, right? So he's much better at that than most of the other supports. So he has that going for him, of course, which makes it more difficult for the enemies to end.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, at this point, you have literally been level 8 for like 5 minutes, I think. It's super rough.
It is bad.
Definitely slow it down, right? In the future, slow it down a little bit. Like you were just like dying over and over again at some point, and like the game wasn't unplayable after the first death, right? It was just is unplayable now because you died like 4 times in a row. And another thing, like you're not pressing tab nearly enough. This is like a very common thing from like every single person I've ever coached. Honestly, like people
Yeah.
just don't press tab enough. But especially as a support, again, you're not someone that needs to farm, so you have so much free time that you can just get all the info that you need. Right? You don't. A big thing you need to think about is the shutdowns, for example. Like who has shutdowns, and then look at the items, see like who is easy to shut down. Let's say the Zeref, maybe he got a lot of the kills, maybe he might have a shutdown then, and like just like even ping that for your team. Say like let's try to kill this guy, and it could maybe get us back into the game. Like, shutdowns are so OP, and Ekko is quite good at collecting them. Even Ekko Support is pretty decent at that, I would say, or like enabling to get the shutdowns. I'm actually caught up to the Zeref now.
Low down.
Yeah, that was a decent combo. We just did not really have the items here.
Yeah.
Yeah, also the build, I think you know, right? Like the build should generally probably be Rocket Belt, Lichbane just for the fact that it's movement speed, and it's like as Ekko Support, you just don't have the base stats to auto attack people enough. I would say generally because you're just under leveled, and also Natural is a little bit more expensive as well. And then the third item should probably be the Zhonya's most of the time. You're gonna be too poor to buy the Rabadons most of the time, and the Zhonya's obviously provide some nice value for your team. Like I'm a very big hater of the Zhonya's for like Ekko jungle and Ekko mid, but I think as Ekko support it does make a lot of sense just buying that little bit of extra time for your team, providing value in that way, and of course just actually also just being able to buy the stopwatch earlier, right? It's a very like it can literally win you games. Having a good stopwatch, and it's only 750 gold. Especially in games where you're maybe a little bit more ahead, of course. I think at the point where you have the debuff, you should probably usually stop farming, unless like genuinely nobody else is doing it. But if you have if you're a little bit stronger and you're a little bit of a bigger target, of course, the Zhonya's might be really good because people will actually attack you a lot more and do stuff for you. It's good. Yeah, you weren't able to proc passive there.
Yeah, just lack of confidence. Just not even playing. Not even playing smart at all.
Yeah, I mean at this point there's not much IQ that would win you this game, honestly.
Yeah.
You're just too behind. But it's fine. Like there's a lot to learn from this game. I think a lot of opportunities, especially, well, like a lot of things we will see where just like the mechanics were missing, and with better mechanics you could have done way more. I'm actually interested to see the damage graph though. Can you show me that?
Oh, I'm sure there was no.
Yeah, let me also log into an NA account really quick.
Yeah, not a lot.
Yeah, I mean, your Veigar mid actually dealt way less than you as well for some reason, but yeah, okay. I guess let me show my screen in a second.
Yep. And then now you said you were trying to look for my mouse. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, I mean, at this point it's whatever because you're not gonna keep sharing your screen anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, the mouse is not really important. I think the camera movement is by far more important, and like that's not something where I need to see your mouse. But yeah, as I said, like big things, mechanics as an overall thing need to improve, or like if they improve, you will have a much easier time. Obviously, mechanics are not something that will just improve from one day to the other. It's very much a like an experience thing and just like something that takes time, the same way it takes time to become good at like any sport or whatever. But of course, like just knowing maybe what you did wrong or whatever, that's something I can help you with.
Okay.
And then of course what I said, like just getting info, like there's so much info missing from your gameplay to even do those nice roams that might have a really good impact and whatever. I'll also look out for that in this game, see if there maybe sometimes when you've based, maybe there could have been opportunities to roam or whatever where you just didn't look. So we'll also definitely take a look at that. Okay, I'm sharing my screen now.
Right. Oh, and then yeah, I'm kind of curious as your setup as far as like just like good camera control. I do feel like I
Yeah.
struggle with camera
I
control.
mean, yeah, definitely just lock your camera more onto you, really. I mean, I don't know what you have. I think, see, where is it? Mm, where is it even? I don't know. I hear like per side offset is what I have. I think if you have it like on one of these, it's like it locks it to wherever you are at the moment while you lock it, and this just puts it so it's like pretty centered, basically. And I have it on my mouse 4 button, like one of those extra buttons on my mouse. I don't know if you have one of those. You
Oh
don't
no,
have
I
to
don't.
like just put it on spacebar or wherever you want. Honestly,
Okay.
just an easy to press button that you can press most of the time while playing is my
Okay.
recommendation, I guess I would say. So yeah, let's just see. The beginning, obviously not. That's it. Like, just look to if you're able to hit some free Qs. Like, obviously, Zeref, he will have range advantage, but you can see this guy's trolling a little bit here. So just walk in here. Like, even if you face check the Kaiser, she won't one shot you. So like, unless they're all stacking here, you will just take some damage, and then you can throw a Q auto attack. You will get some gold. She won't because she's Kaiser mid. You have the spell thieves, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just look for these free trades if you can get them. It's a small thing, but it's a nice thing, right? Because especially as Ekko, you can in some lanes, especially against those long range supports and whatever, you can for sure struggle to get your stacks. In this lane, you really didn't because you were fighting so much. But yeah, of course, also normally I'm sure you leash, but
Yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah.
Ekko support is actually pretty decent at leashing because the passive proc, of course, deals a bunch of damage. So yeah, and obviously not something we really need to talk about. And yeah, you were a little bit late to lane as well here. Of course,
Yeah.
you really need the XP. And then, as I said, I think the first wave, it's not a bad idea to just throw a Q in there most of the lanes. But I don't want to make that statement too carelessly because I have, of course, not played too much Ekko support. And then here, like, just throw a Q at him, like, or like walk one step closer and throw a Q. Just pressure the enemies a bit. Yeah, see, like, they're not even punishing you. And I'm sure that's the case in most of your games where people are not punishing. Like, they could be auto-attacking you or doing something, but they're not doing that because they're, like, gold players. So, like, just play more aggressive. Here, like, we know this guy's in here, and this is, like, the range for Ekko Q, so, yeah, throw the Q. Hit him with it. And then you're so close to level 2, like, actually just ping for the minion or something so the Jinx knows. And then you're level
Yeah.
2, you should instantly go for the trade. And here, if you have the thing correctly set up correctly, right, where you don't have the... Okay, I can't even see, but you know what I mean, right? Like, with the quick
Yeah.
cast, you just EQ, auto attack, and then run away. The Aphelios can get off, like, one auto attack. This guy might hit a... He doesn't, he even has a cooldown on his W, so... Yeah, another big thing, right? Like, play around the enemy cooldowns, especially with a champ like Zeref. He has very long cooldowns, like pretty long at least, right? 9
Yeah.
seconds, 13. Like, if he uses them, just and he misses them especially, just like start trading. Like, that's the perfect time to start trading, right? You won't. Not every lane will be against these kind of champs, but generally, the best way to trade is just after people use their cooldowns. And like, if you have good understanding, you might even be able to trade aggressively in a way where you like this guy might. You will see him walk up. He might place a W wherever, and you can just at the same time E in aggressively or whatever, dodge the W, and then get a good trade off on him and this kind of stuff, you know? Just really play
Yeah.
around the cooldowns. And like here, as I said, EQ, auto attack, proc passive, this guy's probably half HP, the Jinx might get an auto attack off as well. And then just do the same thing again 10 seconds later, and with Ignite you kill. So, like, that's why I think onto these enchanters that don't have a lot of... Like, and onto an Alistair or whatever, you can't really do that. He will just knock you up. But like, that's why against like those champs, I think you just need to play way more with your Q poke, of course. Just don't go for too many EQ trades. But against these enchanters or like mages, just like these should be the easiest lanes generally. And like what you did here was okay, but as I said, like let's see how you did it.
That was slow, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, you eat.
Q,
And there was no
always,
the
like,
Q.
waiting.
Yeah, see, like the Q was just missing. The Q was missing in the animation because if you were able to throw the Q before, then you already have the extra stack and you will be able to proc the passive right away. You know. So like the stack, it just takes too long here, and that's where you're not able to proc the passive, which is, by the way, is like Ekko's biggest damage, right? So I mean, not in the early game necessarily, but it's one of his like it actually it scales the best, right? There's 90% AP scaling, the other ones, yeah. So like in the early it doesn't deal the most damage, but it starts dealing the most damage very quickly. So it's like super important. And of course it will also proc the electrocute here. So this guy could be probably even below half HP here if you were able to do the combo correctly. And then here, like, yeah, I think it's good that you went for this return Q hit. Again, you were not able to proc the passive because you didn't hit your outgoing Q. But these traits are still fine, you can see, right? Because they probably shouldn't be as fine as they are, because these guys are not punishing you as much as they should. But you are in the elo that you're in, so just whatever, right? Like, you will still get kills like this. So it's just important to see that even these kind of traits are positive for you. And this is what I mean, for example. In this situation, you could have just used your E to dodge his Q aggressively and at the same time engage on this guy, right? Let's see. Like, just have the balls here, right? Yes, you got hit by the W, whatever. But you have your E in a second. So yeah, your E is up. You see this guy charging his Q in a second? Like, it's up for a second. Like, this guy's dead. This guy's genuinely dead. He has to flash heal instantly if he doesn't want to die. So, like, just EQ forward aggressively here. Your drinks can follow up as well. Like, this guy probably won't even have the reactions. And then, like, ignite him, and he's just dead. And instead, you're just, like, you throw your Q, you're a little bit passive here. You don't even use your E. You take the damage from him. And then you go in, right? But again, you've not procced your passive a single time. And, like, with better mechanics, you would have been able to proc it every single time.
Yeah.
And you're actually, like, you really did not have to be low at all in this, in these fights, right? There were so many opportunities to just, like, dodge this kind of stuff with your E and whatever. I mean, you used your E aggressively here, of course, so you get hit by all the stuff, but, yeah. The big reason why you're getting hit by all this stuff is because you're not able to proc your passive and get the movement speed.
Yeah.
It's like, this lane could already be so over for them.
I see. Okay.
And then, like, at this point, you really just need to look to get level 3, because now you are really low, but you have the W, and the W will still allow you to trade here, because they're also low. Like, go in this brush now, place a W on this guy, just kill him. Honestly, like, that's exactly what you need to do. Like, it's a very, yeah, I mean, you kind of do that. Again, if you just EQ him here, he doesn't even have level 3, so he doesn't even have the E yet, and he wouldn't have the mana either. So, like, you can just kill this guy. He will have to flash away at least. But you need to do the EQ combo for it to not get punished, right? And I mean, you actually didn't die here because they didn't do anything to you. You only ignited, but it was of course super close.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was fine. And then here you had enough gold for, yeah. And then, like, as I said in game already, don't buy, like, really be greedy. You need your items. You will struggle so much, and you even said it yourself. If you don't get the items, it feels really bad, and that's why you should never waste gold on, like, control wards and whatever too early. Like, really.
Yeah.
And Ekko is a champ that can snowball really well, and this is the time where you need to look at waves. Like, look if you maybe can go mid here. Can you go mid here? I'm not sure. Like, this. See, like, the best way to look at the waves is to just, like, somewhat. You don't even need to count them, but just, like, see the general size of them and see where they're at, right? Do you feel like you have a basic understanding of how the waves work, or not so much?
Yeah, I do. I feel like I have a basic understanding.
Yeah. So, like, where will this wave end up in, like, the next 30 seconds? You think?
Okay, maybe I don't.
But, like, it obviously is always influenced by what the laners do in general, right? But this wave should generally end up in her, yeah, like into her, because, like, they are closer. Like, your minions will arrive first here, so yeah, and this is exactly what's happening, right? Generally, you could of course look to hold it a bit more and whatever, but that's what's happening here. So yeah, this is probably not too gankable, right? She's kind of close to her tower. Top is space, so yeah, just going bot here, completely fine. You also just got a kill, so there should be more opportunities as well, right? This guy flashed and whatever. So yeah, going bot here is fine, and also there's a big wave coming in as well. So you don't want to miss out on that XP. That trade was really good. Of course, it could have still been quicker, but at least you were able to hit everything that you needed to hit here. So that's fine. And as I said, like, these Ws, they should never hit, honestly. Like, this guy saw you cast a W, I'm 99% sure, let's see. So they should never hit, but at the same time, it is gold, so people just don't respect it as much as they need to. So you will be able to get these W's out. But generally, you can just place them from out of vision, right? A good trick is just like place from max range, and it will always be out of vision. Right, unless there's obviously minions or whatever spotting you. But if you're here, place it from max range, they won't see you, right? If you could place it now, I'm pretty sure. Oops. Yeah, from here, see, like you could place it perfectly here. They won't see it, and he like then he will actually have it. Then it's more acceptable that he won't react to it properly. And this is actually a really this is a W I would probably place here at this point in time. Maybe even lower here to maybe catch the Aphelios, but he's further back as well. So yeah, just place it now, and then let's see though. Okay, yeah, he did see you place it, but it was a little bit awkward because it went around the corner, but like,
yeah,
it was kind of close, right? And he still didn't respect it. Okay, like, he actually walked back in it. I just saw. Yeah. So like, yeah, it is what it is, right? It is gold, but of course the W shouldn't have hit here.
Yeah.
But still, like these trades, I'm sure in most of your games, these kind of trades will happen at some point, and then they're super good, and that's why Ekko Support can easily work in your elo. Now, like your Lilia is coming in a second. I'm pretty sure here you waste your W, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And, like if you see your jungle around here, like don't waste your W. I don't know what this guy's even doing. He's so disrespectful.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, here you just wait. Like, what do you even want to achieve here? You just wanted to hold the wave or something, but. It's already holding, right? It's because your minions are here, so you're really not achieving anything. And then you also just had to react a little bit quicker, honestly, here. Like, the way this guy is walking in here, and with the Lilia being above them, I think just walk up to them. If they want to fight, then you will win because it's a 3v2. And if they just back up, then they back up, and you can maybe hold the wave or whatever, but that's not even what happens, right? They genuinely disrespect so hard here.
Yeah.
Well, and at least now that you have the shield, at least keep walking and use the shield offensively and tank like a hit from him while you're trading with him, right? Get at least some value out of it at this point, while you already kind of wasted it. And then also just, of course, so you can help your Lilia here.
Yeah, it's just too late. I just have no map awareness when I saw it. It sucked. Yeah.
Like map awareness should be one of your strengths generally as Ekko Support, because you are not the one that needs to farm or whatever, so... Just like, you have so much time to just look at your maps and whatever. Let's see if this could have turned out better. Definitely a little bit unlucky that this guy... Like, let's see, if you had like a little bit... You're a little bit more decisive here and just EQ on him right away, maybe you get him. But he can of course always flash.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had it up. And it's just showing a little bit bugged.
Okay.
So like after he's slowed, just EQ right away. He probably will flash this and will live, but it's whatever. Yeah, like because of you not playing with quick cast, you're just not even throwing out the Q, right? And that's another big thing. The Q slows, right? So you need to be able to throw it out while you're jumping to just. You're really not you don't have the normal range that Ekko can have, right? While playing without the quick cast, basically, because you're just completely missing that interaction. And then like here, okay, big thing, like again, big thing actually here, just wait with your E until the return Q hit so you get the movement speed. There's no reason. Just make sure that the return Q will hit, so like I would walk to the right a little bit here, I guess.
Yeah.
Make sure it hits and then go in with your E. There's no reason to go in with the E now, right? No reason. Zero. Just wait, get the return Q and then E in. And you also won't be stunned under tower, you will 100% live here. Like, at this point, the game became a little bit awkward.
Yeah.
Like, before that, you were doing perfect, and, like, at this point, you started kind of losing the lane because Aphelios didn't die, and you died, and he also catches a massive wave here. And you lose, actually, a pretty sizable wave as well. So, like, this is where the game turned to shit a little bit, and, of course, also the Nocturne got 2 kills. And it was mainly because of this, right?
Yeah.
Because you died here for no reason. You could have just waited, been a little bit more patient. Also, like, probably the Jinx would, like, 100% the Jinx would have just gotten him, right? And then you could have eat on the Aphelios maybe even, right? So, yeah, just very impatient and not good decision making.
Yeah.
And now is where you, again, need to just, like, while you're dead, you have nothing else to look at other than the lanes and seeing what's going on. For example, this is a wave where I would go mid. Look, this is a massive wave that's going in. It will come in, so, like, yes, she might look to recall, and then that's why you just have roam anyways, always, right? You walk here, and then you can still go bot if she's going base. So
Your decision halfway through.
yeah, like going top,
Yeah.
of course, is a little bit more of a commitment. So going there, like I would probably not go here because this guy is pretty healthy still, and like Garen is, of course, he can like W when you W, and then he has how much tenacity, like 60%, so he's not even stunned that long. And you don't know about his sums here. Like he doesn't have flash, but you probably don't know that. So like going mid here, or like half going mid, just walking here, maybe even do that. I think you might even do that, but you didn't do it while looking mid. You just did it randomly. I'm pretty sure in game. Like
Yeah.
I would personally just ping for this guy to stop his base. I don't even know why he's letting him base. Honestly, like this is like
So cool.
this is like gold players, but this guy needs to stay in lane here. Like he cannot, he should not be allowed to base with no mana and half HP. This guy, just imagine you're this guy. Like, how tilted are you when the Veigar walks up to you and cancels your recall here?
Yeah.
Like, you at least need to, like, this is such a greedy recall. They are allowed to base here. He could just go under his tower and TP back, but that's not what he's doing. So like canceling this would allow you to roam. So like just ping, like be an orchestrator as a supporter. Again, you have more time and like more mental capacity for this kind of stuff because there's so much other stuff that you don't need to focus on as a support.
Yeah.
And like you are kind of half roaming here, but again, you're just instantly looking bot. Like you could even maybe like just be annoying here. Like place a W somewhere here, get the Kai'Sa to half HP, and then she's gonna be tilted, you know. And maybe the Veigar will get off a better base. And you still have some time before you. I mean, you can be bot already here. Of course, there's a way for you where you can get the XP, but still, it could also be annoying here and just be a little bit of a problem for the map. I think that is, again, like that is Ekko Support's biggest strength, probably just being a problem on the map.
Yeah.
And then here, like this ward, I already said it in game. Like I don't think if you ever place a ward, like unless you're like hard winning the lane, you should never place this ward. Because there will always be a point where the enemies will just shove you in, and this wave is already shoved in, basically, right? There's only 3 minions staffing here and like 20 minions from the enemies, so this wave will 100% go somewhere here. So, like, at that point, like, how are you gonna defend this ward? You're not. So, like,
Yeah,
this
it's
is
not
literally
worth
just gold donated to them, basically. If anything, place the ward here, just so you have that safe vision. But even that ward is usually just, it's not that impactful. It really isn't. Like, most of the ganks that are from here are not even working. Like, unless you're massively overextended, they won't work anyways. So
Yeah.
the vision you have here is not even that valuable. And then also another thing, as I said in game, you place a W here and he doesn't respect it yet again. Like, you could just keep walking here, or like wait in the brush, see if he's here, and then walk and EQ, and you would probably catch him. Especially because what this guy's doing all the time, he's like self-slowing him with his Q. Right? He's slowing him up to 50% with his Q, and he's doing it right inside your W, which also slows him by like 40%. So how much? Yeah, 40%.
Yeah.
So like you could easily get it. Yeah. You probably don't kill him. You might even kill him if the Jinx follows up well, but just getting him to half HP makes it so you can kill him on the next rotation, basically.
Yeah.
You know, and now he's just able to clear the ward in a second because, well, how are you going to defend it in this position? I mean, you could maybe even defend it here, but you basically, like, you're actually just not doing anything at the moment. I guess you're waiting for like the Aphelios to arrive or something, but like it would definitely be better to just try and defend this since you don't see him, and like he's obviously gonna come from here. So like you really just gave him some gold. And you also just placed your W again, which means you won't be, like, you really should only be looking to trade with your W unless someone is, like, really low and you can finish them off or something. Like, I mean, that's not trading then, right? Trading is really just, like, from full HP, let's say, you really should only do that with your W. So just don't waste it, it's a long cooldown, it really is. And it just means you're basically gonna be AFK for the next 20 seconds if you waste it like that.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Okay.
I mean, these kind of Ws are generally definitely good. And, like, at this point, I think... Okay, you're actually able to proc your stuff here, but this guy, as I said, you just need the awareness. He's level 6. He's strong. He's really strong.
Yeah.
And also, like, I'm actually personally not an expert at all on the Aphelios weapons, but I think the white one generally is one you don't want to trade into too much. Like, it's one where he can deal a lot of damage. And then I think if it's like white-red, just like stay away. Generally, really stay away. So like, but you can see already, right? This one hurts with the chakrams or whatever it's called. See, like they do hurt. So like don't do these kind of traits. Like just don't.
Yeah.
You got instantly punished for it. And now you messed the right way. White-red.
Yeah, it's beyond over. Yeah.
And now it's like, I wouldn't even say it's beyond over. See, like the gold in the team is not like beyond over, and especially for this elo, it's not at all beyond over.
Yeah.
But yeah, like definitely your lane is not in a great position now. I think your Veigar has like he's not been base yet. Maybe another reason, right? You could have probably helped him at some point, just get a better base. Maybe I'm sure he also had an opportunity already, but. Yeah, just like this kind of stuff you can also help with, right? Just helping people to get bases off when they're struggling. Because a Veigar with this mana, he is struggling to get out of this lane. He doesn't have TP either, so like how is he ever gonna get of a good base where he doesn't lose a lot of minions? Probably not, right? Like the Lilia would have to come. So just invest your time in this kind of stuff as well. Throw a Q in the wave, make sure they still get the last hits, and then you're just being a really nice guy. You actually provided some value as Ekko support. So like, and then like, that's if you are not able to get a kill, of course. You can still provide value in that kind of way. Just helping people get out of their lane when they are struggling a little bit. Yeah, so I mean, you almost kill him here, like, you actually do kill him at all, completely because the...
Yeah, Jinx Rocket.
Jinx Rocket hits, yeah. And then here, like, why are you placing the W so defensively? Why are you scared at all of this guy? He's a low mana Zeref. Just place a W here, and this guy will die as well. Or like flash.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why you... Yes, you got hit, and like you already got hit by the spell, basically. Okay, he still has E and Q, but really, there's not much to be scared of. And like he doesn't even have the mana for E, which is like his scariest spell, actually.
Yeah.
So this W, if it was just placed better, you probably kill him here, even with flash. I'm assuming he might die here, just with the way he played so far. So like you actually kind of pulled it back here, right? It was not beyond over at all. You got the kill in the Phalios, so it was playable for sure. Oops. Let's see, did you die here to the Nocturne? I mean, you missed your Q here. Yeah, if you hit your Q, he's dead, actually.
Yeah.
Definitely unfortunate. It happens though, like this is not the stuff to focus on. Of course it ties into mechanics, but everyone misses Qs every now and then. Like even these ones, of course these ones should be the ones that you should be able to hit, but it was also a little bit like unfortunate. I guess he moved below you right in this last second, so it happens. Like this is really not the important stuff. Like generally you handle this fine. It was just unlucky, and this guy, and then I told you, right, go for the kill here. Like this guy's half HP. You will kill him if he's, and like, yeah, like and if he doesn't respect your W, you will 100% kill him. I mean, he was able to flash. I think actually with a little bit, again, if you're a little bit quicker with your mechanics, you'll probably kill him before he's even unstunned.
Yeah.
Let's see. Right, like EQ. Yeah, another big thing in this situation specifically would have been the fact that you get him to the 30% threshold faster if you do the EQ, right?
Yeah.
If you do EQ, auto attack right away, proc the passive, he's gonna be really low. And how many auto attacks do you get off here? And also, I don't know why you're kiting away even. Like, what are you kiting away from? If anything, you should be kiting up here so he can't flash away in that direction.
Yeah.
So like, I think if you just do the combo faster, get him below that, then he will take more damage from your auto attacks. He will die here before he's even unstunned. So another like small mechanical thing that could have made the difference. Like as I said, you could have been so fat here, like easily. There were so many opportunities. Just a little bit of mechanics missing.
Yeah.
And then again, you're in base. Look at the waves. Yes, probably nowhere to roam. Yeah, there is nowhere to roam. But you didn't even get that info. I mean, one thing you could have done is roam to the Herald, honestly, here. At this point. It's definitely something. But at the same time, you also want to get level 6, so maybe it's not the best idea. You're definitely a little bit low on XP, but so is the Zeref. Yeah, at this point, just let the wave come into you, it's fine. And again, like, use your E to dodge these spells. Like, why are you taking the damage? You should, like, 40 mana, your mana will regen faster than your health. That's how you should think about it. So like even if you're not able to use the E offensively after that, which I'm not even sure that you might have been able to, like maybe you could have EQ'd eat up and then Q'd on him or something at least. Maybe not fully committed, but just done something, right? Like E up here, Q him. Yeah, probably that would have worked, honestly. Like just E up, like don't E down because then the Aphelios will attack you, but just E up slightly towards him. Then you're in Q range. That will slow him, so you can hit your E auto attack, and then with the W you can for sure trade and at least proc passive, right? And you probably won't die. I mean, maybe the Aphelios can all in you and it can be scary, but I think with your W shield you should be fine here. And like also, I think he just won't react perfectly either, so... Yeah, and instead you just basically just tank the Q. And this guy is also like always tanking your return Q as well. I mean, now you're getting level 6 in a second here, which is definitely a really big power spike for Ekko. And especially Ekko Support. Or no, not especially Ekko Support, but for Ekko Support as well, of course, right? Because it allows you to just tank so much more for your ADC as well. Yeah, and this guy healed. Like, the heal should tell you you can go for it. You can, like, she really wanted it, and then here this was a little bit awkward. You don't even get him. Again, EQ combo. Just EQ. You have the, and also ward. Like, ward and the brush right away. I know it's a lot of buttons to press at the same time, but it's like, oops. Like, you could have easily just, like, EQ now, and then place the ward so you get the vision of him, and he's just dead, and there's nothing he can do. So like, yeah, and like even now you didn't throw the Q. Like if you Q now and place the ward, you can still get him. With just too much missing in this. But I know how it is, right? I was in your elo as well at some point, so like I know, like I just have played the game for such a long time now. This kind of stuff is not difficult for me anymore. I know that it like for me it doesn't even seem difficult anymore. I know it might be difficult for you, but realistically the only way to get better at is just by like playing more, I guess. Playing more, and like the big thing that made my mechanics get better is just like actively thinking about all this stuff, right? Like, because I used to play the game, and I'm sure most people that are in your elo, they just play the game, right? They play the game, they don't think too much about what's going on, but like if you actively think about all the stuff that's going on, it takes some effort, but at some point it will stop taking effort, right? That's how everything in life is. Right, if you go to the gym for like years, then at some point it's not going to be difficult anymore. And it's the same with League, right? If you just do this stuff, it will be difficult. Like same with like locking camera, unlocking camera. It is effort that you need to put in, but you will notice that. And like with League, it usually is quite quick that it doesn't take that much effort anymore. This kind of stuff. And like I think a big thing is the quick casting for you. That's gonna help your mechanics. Like, also even with the wards.
Yeah.
It's so much more inputs, right? It's so much, you need to do an extra click for every single thing you want to do. So like there is reason to play without the quick cast. I guess if you're like an actual beginner, you have no clue about the ranges and whatever, but you have played like 700 Ekko games or something, so you know the general ranges, and even if you don't, like you will get used to it 100%.
Yeah.
I feel like that's probably gonna be like the biggest steroid for you. I guess that's gonna give you like a big improvement quickly.
I actually didn't even know that. Like, I kind of thought I was on quick cast, but now that you mentioned it, I was just like, oh yeah.
Maybe you're on like this quick cast with indicator where you're like, if you hold it, then there is an indicator. But even that is like not full quick cast because
I am noticing that now. Like when you were saying that, you're just like, this will be so much quicker, and I was just like, oh, I didn't even think about that. Like I've just been playing with it like that for so long, I didn't realize that there was a quicker way. It's just kind of how I started off, and then I've just been doing it ever since. So
yeah, I mean everyone started off that way, right? It's a standard setting, I think, but every good player, like most good players, I guess, let's say every good player that plays champions like Ekko or like these quick champions, that none of them play with without quick cast. Like none of them. Let's say like Dopa, for example. You know Dopa? You've heard of him?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Right. He plays with this, but the reason, or like he does it when he plays these champions like Orianna, like TF, like these mages where it really doesn't. It's beneficial, I guess, to know where the cards go and whatever, especially for TF, I guess, knowing that. I'm sure he knows the general angles, but like the Q, it has like these weird angles, of course. So seeing them can be beneficial, and it's not important for him to do it super quickly. But a champion like Ekko, where your combos and whatever they need to be quick, that it really is not possible to do it without the quick cast. or like Akali, all of these champs, they really
You don't have no indicators on
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
play. You just
yeah.
so you
None.
don't have anything like that. Okay.
No. Like sometimes I guess I see sometimes again, right? EQ
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
EQ flash, and you just get
Yeah.
him. And like
Yeah. I've seen
sometimes,
it so many times now. Like
yeah,
like
yeah,
that's literally like I'm losing out on like every kill every time
yeah,
I.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
it's like a second too late on the queue every time.
Exactly, and it's missing you, it's especially making you miss out on the passive procs, which also allow you to escape, right? Having that movement speed, that's a big thing as
Yeah.
well. Sometimes I see people like the way you can get the indicator, I guess, in game is just by left clicking on the ability, right? So like
Yeah.
sometimes I see people left clicking on the W just to get the indicator if they're not super aware of the range, but I personally don't need that anymore either. Like as I said, like what I sometimes do is like I just go to like max range. I press W and Ekko will walk there and place the W as soon as he's able to, basically. So you don't
Yeah.
really need the indicator. You just need to know where you want to place the W. So and as long as you know how big the W is, you really there's no real need for the indicator either. Anyways, but yeah, for the EQ, like what you need to do is really just EQ and then auto attack. I'm sure you know at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. So it just literally that queue is like the reason.
It's like you didn't even need to auto attack your red. You just didn't
Yeah.
hit the Q because it didn't come out quickly enough, and he was able to flash away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing it for sure.
In this situation, yeah, I mean, since you have the ult, it's not a huge problem. If you didn't have ult here, I mean, you even get him because you had ignite, but still.
Yeah.
If you didn't have ult here, it might have even been a problem that you kill him too quickly here and you're not able to proc passive, and then you're in Aphelios' face and he probably kills you. So, like, also in these situations, place your W. I mean, okay, like, don't place your W in this situation specifically, but in situations where you want to engage, always place your W, of course. In this situation, I don't think you should do it because you are going for somewhat of an unexpected play, of course, with a flash.
Yeah.
But generally, in these kind of trades, like, place it now at least, right? Like, place it now. Now that you're in there, place it. And then maybe you can also tank him a little bit longer. Get quick with that as well. And of course, that's another thing where the quick cast really helps. Just being able to press once and not having to press W and then left click. It just makes the gameplay so much smoother. It probably won't for like the first 5 games, but after that, I'm sure you will be fine with it 100%. And you actually still kill him at this point again. And like, this game is not over. Like, this is like 4,000 gold in solo queue means nothing. But the thing that was missing again is just like you pressing tap and seeing who has the shutdowns here. I did not know that this guy had a 500 gold shutdown. I did not know this guy had a 350 gold shutdown. Like, I also did not know that this guy was on 64 farm. Like, that's also important to know that this guy is absolutely useless, right? So like making decisions who to play with and whatever is also like, this kind of info was also really missing from your gameplay a lot. And as I said, this is something that's missing from like basically every person I've ever coached. Like even like diamond players and whatever, they usually don't press tab nearly often enough, but it's such an easy thing to do, right? It's really like the easiest thing possible. You literally press one button and then you look at what's like, maybe like getting the info and then also really understanding it is a different thing. Of course, you need a lot of knowledge for that, but the only way you're gonna get better at that is also by actually doing it, right?
Utilizing it, yeah.
And like actually understanding, like, okay, this guy's a 400 gold shotgun. Probably I cannot go into his face here. He will one-shot me.
Yeah.
He has his items.
That's exactly what happens, actually, or
basically.
I can't even do anything, yeah.
Yeah, especially also because, I mean, yes, I think the W placement here was fine if you're just looking to gank her normally, but that's also another thing. I think in this situation we didn't even see that this guy was on 1 HP because you didn't look at him. I mean, you can see it on the right, of course, here from your teammates, but yeah, I didn't see that in-game. Just like this, how important, that info is so important, because knowing that this guy's on 1 HP gives you the info that the Kai'Sa can do exactly what she's gonna do. If this guy is full HP, she won't do that, right? Yeah. So all of this will play out completely differently if this guy's full HP. So this idiot is just walking in there with like 1 HP, of course, gets hit by the W, and then, yeah, he's dead. So like, and that may give you the info that you should not place your W here, because she will just keep playing aggressively. Yeah. But, yeah, again, like, just missing info. And then, of course, you're missing the W here, so you're just, I think you don't even die, right? But you're, like, really, really low. and you need to go. Honestly, it was like a decent attempt because this guy is the main target at this point. However, the Nocturne, another thing, pressing tap here would give you the info that this guy is actually pretty underleveled for the fact that he has a 600 gold shutdown. He's only one level above you, even though he's so fat. Unlike the Kai'Sa, who's like level 13 here. So he is not even that difficult. Like, he shouldn't be that difficult to kill. But generally, of course, the Kai'Sa is a much squishier target, so she should be your main focus. And also, of course, just taking her down will have a bigger impact, probably. Yeah, like this like your game plan needs to be how can you even win this game, and the biggest or like the easiest way is generally just by trying to get the shutdowns, and like also just as I said, ping your team for it. Like tell your team, okay, let's see how this played out.
Oh, that's when he flashes over, yeah.
If you're quick here, like quick Q E away, and he fucked up. He's dead. He's actually dead. If you're really quick here. Okay, he has the spell shield, but I think if you're really quick here, it's actually before that. And the Q slow will be enough. The Q slow will be enough that he will be slowed, and then he probably actually dies. Or at least you will be able to live. You might be able to tank the tower a little bit, but
yeah.
And this was not a worthwhile play for him, anyways. Like he got the support and he used his flash with a 600 gold shutdown. He's like, yeah, not a great play. But see, like your first reaction should not be to E away. Your first reaction should be to Q and then E.
Yeah.
And like he spell shielded too late. You would have been able to hit your Q 100% here, and then you actually would have gotten the shutdown, and maybe the game is winnable. Yeah, and as I said, also in general, like you were ready to recall here, but like take these waves. Nobody else is going to take it. It's literally gold lust on the map. And as I said, Ekko Support, he has the need for his items, but he often struggles in games where he doesn't get killed. So like. These waves are like greatly appreciated, really. It's just one wave here, but yeah, again, like this guy was really slow with the spell shield. If you're quick, Q, E away, place W somewhere here probably, and then you probably kill him. Like, I don't even know why you... I mean, he probably would have caught up to you anyways, but I don't even know why you went for the E auto attack here. Maybe you could have made him tank a bunch more auto attacks.
Yeah.
Not auto attacks, tower attacks, I mean.
Yeah.
At this point, the game is for sure looking rough. But yeah, again, I mean, you missed your Q here. Again, it happens. But it was also because you just didn't do the EQ combo. And also, here a big thing, actually. Like, okay, they have vision anyways. But if they didn't have vision here, there's no reason for you to not place the W before you walk into the minion range. And maybe you're not aware of the Ekko W range, but you can place it from... Like, just think of this river, honestly. This is a perfect line for you. Just from here, place the W. You can place it in the brush here, and then they won't see it. Like the minions might spot you, but I think not even the minions will spot you if you're actually here.
Yeah.
So I think there's no reason you walk up until here and then you place your W for no reason. Another thing, like Ekko's kit is so cohesive. That's why he's such a nice champ. And usually when you place your W at max range, you're gonna be there when it pops, right when you're like walking and EQing and this kind of stuff, right? So like placing your W will make it pop at the perfect time when you want to engage, basically. Like placing it now somewhere here. I would place it in his path somewhere. Of course, the Aphelios is your target here. Sadly, he doesn't have a shutdown because you kill him a bunch of times. He's actually not that ahead. Another thing we're like not really aware of because you didn't press tab often enough. Like this is super important, knowing like the ADC strength when like your ADC strength versus the enemies. In this situation, they're like actually pretty equal, right? Yours has a BF sword, this one he has a Zeal, so they should be decently equal in strength. But like this kind of info you're just kind of missing. I wasn't sure if this guy had a shutdown in game, honestly.
Yeah.
Because you died to him. Like he was actually not fat at all. It really wasn't that apparent in game. So the way he played, he felt kind of strong. Like, now just place your W somewhere in his path. It doesn't even matter that much. Like, I think he sees it. Yeah, he sees you. I mean, he sees you because of the word no matter what. But I think even the minions would see you. But at this point, he's overextended. So, like, just place the W. He will have to walk there. It will slow him by 40%. So, you will catch up no matter what. Or he will have to flash.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, the way you place your W... Like, you even take some steps back the way.
I didn't see committal from Jinx, I guess, but yeah, I guess
you don't even need the Jinx here, you know, like.
Yeah.
And then again, they place the W more in his path. He will retreat to his tower. He won't stay here, so yeah. And then you kind of did the EQ combo here, but not really, and then you missed your Q. And then like don't waste your rocket belt either here. Like don't make the situation worse. You might need the rocket belt to escape. So like the rocket belt will achieve literally nothing here other than dealing the damage. So you're literally just making the. If anything, use it now, so you might be able to proc the passive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then run away. Like proccing passive. Like, probably the best way to play this now is Rocket Belt. You might not hit it, though. It's kind of close. But try to hit it if you're able to proc passive, ult out, and then you have a lot of movement speed and you can run away. But, like, now you're just here, you're super slow. And then, like, you also miss your Q. If you hit the Q, you maybe at least get... I don't know if you live because she has ult and whatever, but you at least get some more time. Yeah, and this one step back here also cost you a little bit on being able to hit the return Q as well, actually. Yeah, like, you should definitely be able to hit your Qs on a TPing target, though. Like, just throw it exactly where the TP is gonna happen. It will be slowed. She might still catch you, or she comes out of base with home guards. She's super fast. But, yeah. Could have still be played a little better. And at this point, Red, you just died a bunch of times in a row, and you just came out of base after dying here, and then you died again, and now is where the game is definitely not fun to play anymore.
Yeah.
Although, like for example, the Zeref should still be somewhat killable at this point. He's not tanky at all or anything, and he's not like super over leveled. Yeah, and now of course, right, you just died again, and yeah, it's not getting better. It definitely isn't. So like at this point, these games are like technically winnable, but of course you are 10k gold behind you, so it's probably over even in this elo. Like, even if you would put me in Ekko here, I would probably not win this game anymore because you're just so weak. But the best thing you can do at this point is just try to kill someone, and that someone should be the Zeref, because he is the lowest level, he doesn't build anything defensive, and like getting some amount of gold is like your best shot to win these kind of games anyways. And I mean, it still took them some time to end here, honestly. Okay, only 5 minutes, that's not even that long for a gold elo, I would say. See, like this guy, what he's doing now is where you need to try and punish him. Yeah, like you need to kill him here. And I think you actually can. Like just E over this wall, place a W somewhere here. Let's see. Okay, I mean you place your W, which is fine to just check. I mean at this point this might be contested. But now you have info of him. Either engage on him head on here, you might, like if you manage to dodge his E, you might be able to just kill him. Or if you want to be like a little bit sneaky, just E over this wall. And then you will cut off his way, and maybe you can get him. He still has flash anyways, but yeah. I mean, now of course the Nocturne ult, so you need to be careful anyways. Yeah, you probably wouldn't have killed him because of the Nocturne ult, no matter what, but yeah, I mean, you didn't really try. No, yeah, you have to flash away, it just kind of sucks. You die again. Yeah, at this point there's honestly not that much to talk about anymore. Really, so I think I'll actually just leave and just show you some mechanics and this kind of stuff, I guess. We still have like half an hour. If you have any questions as well, just like go ahead maybe. Yeah. It's a good time.
And then if I can't, maybe if I can see the settings or something of...
Yeah, I guess we can see that.
I'm gonna try and switch mine to that right now. You can only do it in game, right? Or like through like practice or something?
Yeah, generally I think the settings are better to change in game. Some of them are not shown in the client.
And then the camera lock too. Maybe it was just because I didn't have the mouse centered on my guy. Maybe, I don't know.
But that's not what it should be, right? Like let me show you how it is for me.
So quick cast.
Why can I hear your? I'm just watching your stream. Or do you have like speakers? Wait, what the fuck?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I was trying to change.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm on yours, yeah.
Okay, I don't know why I cannot load into the practice tool low. Wait, maybe it will load in a second. It says it will load in a second, so I am trusting.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay.
All right. Mic check.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, okay.
So see, like this. I mean, you can just press quick cuts all honestly, and I guess this, if you have this one ticked on, then it's like where if you hold it, you will still get the indicators.
Yeah.
But this one you need to tick off, I guess, if that's one.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Also, I don't know. Like, I think this is ticked on standard. I don't know. Another thing, I guess, I can just give you the tip for is to have target champions only bound to somewhere. I don't know if you have that.
I do not.
Yeah, it's definitely a good thing if you're fighting in minion waves
Just
and
when I'm tower
whatever.
diving.
And when you're tower diving, yeah, I always press it in fights basically. Honestly, like also in minion waves and whatever, it's really a good thing to have, just so you don't accidentally attack the minions.
Yeah.
So for sure, I also have that. But I have it on spacebar, and you can see, right? You can see in the mouse when it's getting like red.
Oh, I see.
Then you know when it's active as well.
What do you use to center your camera?
Yeah, as I said, I have it on my like mouse button 4. And
okay.
and see, this is what it does, right? It always centers like this. So like no matter where I am, it just centers me. And like most of the time while I'm fighting, I have it just like this, right? And also with the arrow, of course, it helps you keep track of yourself a little bit more. And then these are the EQ combos that you should be doing all the time, basically, where you're just throwing out the E, like right, like let's say you're engaging on the Aphelios here, you just EQ him, or like on the Seraph, and I mean, I'm sure you have seen me do it, right? But
Yep.
yeah, like the kind of stuff, and then of course you can add the rocket build onto it to just be really quick with it. But I've also said this, I think, in my most recent coaching session, or in general, I've said this a bunch of times recently. It's really not about doing the combo exactly like this. The important stuff is to proc the passive. So there might be situations where you do like, let's say, this, and then you just do this. Okay, I don't know why.
Yeah.
Why is the first thing didn't apply because it was still on cooldown. So it's like you just do like this, for example. It doesn't always have to be the same. Or like sometimes you might even do something like this, and then you can just rocket belt to just reset. Like using the E auto attack reset and the rocket belt auto attack reset is very big. Like this is the biggest skill expression Ekko has probably, I would say, other than good W placement. Like that's what will make your gameplay quick. So like even just practice it on a target dummy. Honestly, like this is not useless to practice. And I'm also like to all the Ekko jungle players, I'm always telling them like practice on the camps, practice your E auto attack, like just get into the habit of doing this, like just this.
Yeah.
Get into the habit of doing this, and like you don't have, especially with Ekko support, you're never building natural, so you will never have a lot of attack speed anyways. So using the attack resets is very good. Like being able to use them will just increase your DPS by quite a lot. Okay. So yeah, the important stuff really is to just get the passive procs, and how you do it, it really doesn't matter that much. But like sometimes, as for example in this one situation under the tower here, you might just want to throw out the Q, wait for the return Q, and then go in last second with the E to hit, and then have the movement speed. So like, it's really like, for me, all this stuff, it's second nature. I've played so much Ekko, I don't really need to think about this, but you might just have to put in the brain power at first and like really think like, how can I play this optimally? And at some point it will just become second nature, and then like, you will be able to win a lot of games with Ekko support just by being mechanically better, basically. And also, I don't know if you're playing with like the attack move, but that definitely makes your gameplay much better as well. I was on the PBE and I was playing, and I didn't have it bound, the attack move, and it was really like I couldn't play the game. It's so important.
What's that attack move is
It's under player movement, I think. Yeah, this one, player attack move click. I think most people have it on A.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, this is a really easy button to press, and like for example, for like these combos, you need to do the like to be able to hit the right target. Like if you need to right click, then it's so difficult. But with the attack move, you just automatically click or attack the closest target, and that's how you make these combos look so clean, basically, just by having that. I mean, I'm still moving my mouse towards the target, of course, but sometimes it might be a little bit off, and then if you don't have it bound, you will just not do the auto attack, basically.
Yeah.
And like, yeah.
Wow, that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah,
so
it's definitely a game changer.
A, and you just press you're pressing A for that one, just
yeah. You can also see it. Right now it's green, and then when I press it, it's red. So it will attack, if there's someone to attack, it will basically just be like, now I'm clicking somewhere completely different and it's still attacking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is
I see,
the
okay.
this is the stuff that will really improve your mechanics, I guess. Or that if you are not playing, or if you're playing without this kind of stuff, you just genuinely cannot have good echo mechanics. So it will for sure take some time to get used, and you won't be a mechanical god tomorrow, most likely, but it's still like, if you're not even playing with these kind of settings, you cannot even get there anyways. So...
Wow, okay. I know, because I can't tell you how many times I've not leveled up my R as well, and then just died because I couldn't level it up quick enough and use it at the same time.
But now you can, or... Because you did that, right? You're playing with it now?
Yeah.
Because I think that's also a nice thing to do. I mean, I'm always saying to like people that are new, like genuinely new to Ekko, they shouldn't do it, but you're not that new to Ekko, so I think even though you're gold or whatever, I think you should still do it. It gives you really good value, and it's also not that difficult of a thing to do, realistically. Like, I was actually opposed to it up until this season, actually, because I fucked it up like twice or whatever, but that's such a weak mindset, you know? Not doing something just because you failed a bunch of times. Like, now I do fail every now and then, like, some really embarrassing stuff that's happened to me a bunch of times where I accidentally put a point in E when I want to...
Same.
It's like, that can really fuck you up. Like, I did it in one of my most recent games where I was, like, running away, and, you know, I wanted to E backwards to do, like, this kind of stuff, where I have my E already, and then I accidentally put a point in E and I couldn't ult back, and it was so fucking awkward. But,
I've done
yeah,
the same
like...
thing,
Generally, that happens like 1 in 100 games or something, so it's still worth. And like in like I would say in at least 80% of my games, it actually has some amount of value. Either it baits people in because they think I don't have ult up, which, okay, realistically in your elo most people don't look at the clone that much anyways, I'm assuming, but it still is some value. And then of course just hiding the position of it, right? It allows you to get some really sneaky kills sometimes. Of course, you also have a harder time tracking it, but as the Ekko player, you definitely have an easier time than your enemy tracking your movement. So it's still, and of course, as I said, like, not doing it will not make you better at it. So like, just get on it as early as possible, I guess, and you will improve 100%. Yeah, like
that there's a
EW,
QWER, and then you have your A. So it's kind of like a grid that you're using, huh? I guess it's like a grid.
You mean like how they're?
Maybe that seems like so awkward for me to go just below that Q, because I feel like I would still press Q, but Q and A, huh? Okay.
I mean, yeah, the A, I don't even use it all the time. I'm noticing right now while I'm playing here, but like, usually when I'm doing this, I don't even press it all the time there. Honestly, it really depends, I guess.
Yeah.
Depends on how difficult it feels to hit them.
And then for spacebar, you're using that's your target only champion, right?
Yeah, I have that.
Okay. And then the one that the center on the camera was on your mouse button. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think most people have it like actually the opposite way, right? Like most people have the target champions only on their mouse buttons or somewhere else, I guess, and then the centering on the spacebar. But I don't know. For me, I can always literally, like, it's just my thumb is basically always on the mouse button force, so it's really easy for me to hold. Yeah. And I probably hold it too much, honestly. When I look at like really good Echoes, they definitely unlock their camera more, even in fights and whatever. And they have like better awareness in fights. That's for sure something I need to work on as well. But generally, I think it's not a huge deal, right? Like, you see all the stuff that you need to see generally, right? The only thing you're not able to do is like place a W, but that's where you just unlock your camera really quick. You place it. Like, yeah, sometimes you might just be missing info that you could otherwise be getting because you're too centered on yourself, but what happened in the early game especially was like so many situations where you're just like fighting up here basically, and the enemy is already like out of range and you literally didn't see the health bar anymore, and you were just not like moving the camera in fights is just like it makes you.
I know.
Yeah, you need to move your mouse somewhere where you don't want it to be, because then you can't use your abilities where you want them to use and this kind of stuff. So like just centering on yourself will also help your mechanics improve, I'm sure, for now. So yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I mean, we still have like 20 minutes. If you have any more questions and whatever, you can ask them. If not, we don't need to drag it out for no reason, of
Yeah, yeah. I was
course.
about to say. I think I'm ready. I just, yeah, I definitely want to make those changes and just
Yeah, I think for
and
you, just like of
try to
course, your
implement it.
mechanics are just held back by these. Oh, they will not be amazing all of a sudden, I'm sure, but still, like getting on
Right.
this kind of stuff, I'm sure they will improve for sure. And like it's also not that difficult pressing EQ and whatever. If we're being
Yeah.
real, you will get the hang of it in a couple of games, and yeah, I really
Yeah.
wish you
I
good
will.
luck with that. And again, like
Okay.
that's not the only thing, right? The mechanics really also just get into the habit of whenever you're in
Diving in.
base, really just look at the lanes, like
Wave
really
states.
look there. Not even the wave states, just look. Like look, you didn't even look at anything, right?
Yeah.
If you don't understand the wave states, that's not a big deal. Like none of the people in the game really understand the wave states. So like the big thing to see is the HP. Honestly, if you see someone that's low, and like you might be able to kill them, right? That's like the biggest thing, honestly, because you didn't really get that info at all in this game. And then also just pressing tab is another, like, such a small simple thing to do, but it will give you so much valuable info that you really need to make the correct choices.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. Cool. I'm ready.
All right.
It's gonna be a process for sure, but I want to try and implement some of those
Yeah.
changes. So
All right, very nice.
all right.
Okay, I really wish you good luck, and yeah, I hope this
All right.
was very helpful for
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Thank you.
All right,
Appreciate it,
have a
brother.
nice day.
Thank you.
Bye.